The path to freedom takes sometimes 100 years, 150 years, 80 years, but he has to be patient.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. ولما بلغ أشده واستوى آتيناه حكما وعلما وكذلك نجزي المحسنين. ودخل المدينة على حين غفلة من أهلها فوجد فيها رجلين يقتتلان هذا من شيعته وهذا من عدوه فاستغاثه الذي هو من شيعته على الذي من عدوه فوكزه موسى فقضى عليه قال هذا من عمل الشيطان إنه عدو مضل مبين. قال رب إني ظلمت نفسي فاغفر لي فغفر له إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. قال رب بما أنعمت علي فلن أكون ظهيرا للمجرمين. فأصبح في المدينة خائفا يترقب فإذا الذي استنصره بالأمس يستصرخه قال له موسى إنك لغوي مبين. فلما أن أراد أن يبطش بالذي هو عدو لهما قال يا موسى أتريد أن تقتلني كما قتلت نفسا بالأمس إن تريد إلا أن تكون جبارا في الأرض وما تريد أن تكون من المصلحين. وجاء رجل من أقصى المدينة يسعى قال يا موسى إن الملأ يأتمرون بك ليقتلوك فاخرج إني لك من الناصحين. فخرج منها خائفا يترقب قال رب نجني من القوم الظالمين. اللهم لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك. اللهم لا نحصي ثناء عليك أنت كما أثنيت على نفسك. اللهم نشكو إليك ذنوبنا ونشكو إليك أعمالنا. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا كلها دقها وجلها صغيرها وكبيرها ما علمنا منها وما لم نعلم منها اللهم أنت قلت وقولك الحق فبما كسبت أيديكم وأنت قلت وقولك الحق ويعفو عن كثير. اللهم نسألك باسمك العفو أن تعفو عنا ذنوبنا وأن تمحو عنا سيئاتنا وأن تغفر لنا زلاتنا إنك أنت أرحم الراحمين. اللهم أصلح لنا أحوالنا. اللهم اشف موتى المسلمين في فلسطين. اللهم ارحم موتانا واشف مرضانا وعاف مبتلانا وانصرنا على من عادانا. اللهم إنك أنت العزيز الحكيم لا غالب عليك ولا راد لقضائك إنك أنت علام الغيوب. اللهم أمهلنا الصبر. اللهم أمهلنا الصبر فإن أعيننا لا تطيع رؤيته. اللهم لا تبتلينا في آخرتنا. اللهم وعافنا في دنيانا. اللهم إنك أنت الحليم نسألك حلمك ورحمتك. وصل اللهم وسلم على نبي الرحمة محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وصل اللهم وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Yesterday we began a series looking at the cycle of oppression, looking through the lens of the story of Musa alayhi salam in Suratul Qasas. We realize that this is a template that it repeats again and again in history. We talked yesterday about Fir'aun and his methods, how he split the people, split them into groups, created an apartheid state, created a state of affairs where one group was more empowered than the other, one group was weaker than the other, had less rights than the other. We talked about the mother of Musa alayhi salam and the promise of Allah. And now, as Musa is in the palace, the baby prince, we fast forward a number of years. Allah says, وَلَمَّا بَلَغَ أَشُدَّهُ, when he grew up into a mode of strength, we gave him wisdom and we gave him knowledge. And that's how we reward the people who do good. Some scholars are of the opinion that this is referring to prophethood, that Allah gave him prophethood at this time. And others are of the opinion this is just him growing up and Allah preparing him for prophethood. And the real prophethood comes later when Allah reveals to him in front of the burning bush. So Musa alayhi salam is preparing for prophethood. And he has wisdom, he has knowledge, he has that insight from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And one day he enters the busy center of the city, Al-Madinah. Not the palace where he was living in the suburbs far from the city, but the actual center of the city. He enters the city على حين غفلة من أهلها, while he's unaware of its people. He's unaware of what really goes on. He's naive, he's inexperienced. Or he's unaware of what he could come across in this part of the city. And what does he find? He finds that a fight breaks out in the middle of the city. One group or one person from his group, one person is an Israeli, and the other one is a Qibti, a Copt. You know, I said there were two classes in society: the slave class, who were the Banu Israel, the Israelites, and the masters, those who would enjoy the extra benefits and enjoy the oppression, and they were the Copts. So he sees one from each against each other fighting. And the one from his group, the Israeli, from Banu Israel, called him and asked for his help. He said, "Come on, help me, please." So Musa alayhi salam comes, and in trying to separate the fight, he gives a firm punch to one of them, and he lands flat. He takes his life. Not deliberately. فَوَكَزَهُ مُوسَى فَقَضَى عَلَيْهِ. Now this action that Musa alayhi salam did and this result that happened, Musa alayhi salam wasn't expecting that. He wasn't intending that. So he immediately turns to Allah in dua. قَالَ رَبِّ إِنِّي ظَلَمْتُ نَفْسِي فَاغْفِرْ لِي. Oh Allah, I wronged myself just now. What I did, I wronged myself. So forgive me. Allah forgives him. Allah is the most forgiving and merciful. He makes another dua. Oh Allah, because of the blessings you gave me of knowledge and wisdom, I'm not going to help a mujrim, a criminal again. Don't make me somebody who assists the wrongdoers. What's the context here? When this cycle of oppression is happening, you have one group of people oppressing, one group of people oppressed. Sometimes the oppressed people will retaliate, they will take revenge. They will cause a fight. And sometimes the response they give is excess. It's more than what they should be doing. They strike harder than they should be striking. And that's not fair, that's unjust. Allah says in the Qur'an, وَلَا يَجْرِمَنَّكُمْ شَنَآنُ قَوْمٍ عَلَىٰ أَلَّا تَعْدِلُوا اعْدِلُوا هُوَ أَقْرَبُ لِلتَّقْوَى. Just because somebody is doing wrong to you, don't allow that to make you unjust with them, to make you unfair with them, for you to go too far. So the whole idea in Islam is one of qisas, this idea of equality, right? A tooth for a tooth, an eye for an eye. But if someone comes and gives you a punch, takes a tooth of yours, and you take out his entire set of teeth, this is udwan. You've gone too far. Just because you are oppressed doesn't give you the right to oppress others. They say two wrongs don't make a right. So this is what Musa alayhi salam is learning. This guy is from my people. He's from the oppressed people. But when I went too far, I need to stop. This wasn't right. I should not have crossed the line. Oh Allah, forgive me. Allah forgives me. Oh Allah, don't let me help someone who is a mujrim, a criminal, even if he's from my people. This is where sometimes the connection of tribe, of blood, of country, of sect, of group, sometimes it blinds you. You think he's from my group, he's from my sect, my tribe, my family, so you support this person, but actually they're in the wrong. But because you're so deeply connected, you can't see that. You only see my group, my people, my sect, my oppressed people. So finish, you help them, but you go too far. This is where Musa alayhi salam is teaching us, never go too far when righting a wrong. Never cross the line. Just because someone is your blood, don't accept their claims, don't accept their claims at face value. Always investigate. Are they really in the right or are they making a mistake here? Musa alayhi salam, the next day, فَأَصْبَحَ فِي الْمَدِينَةِ. This time, now he's more careful. He's not naive. He's more careful. He's watching what's going on in the city of Medina, in the city of Egypt. And he finds the same gentleman again. Same person he saved yesterday. And Musa alayhi salam killed somebody trying to save him by mistake. Same person is in another fight today. What does that tell you about this person? This person likes getting into fights. Musa looks at him. Again, you're in a fight. Again, you're calling me. He says, إِنَّكَ لَغَوِيٌّ مُبِينٌ. You are clearly misguided. You're lost. The cause of Banu Israel, the cause for equality, the cause to remove injustice, remove oppression, is a fair cause. But you, my friend, you like to pick fights every day. Doesn't mean that you're right. He says, إِنَّكَ لَغَوِيٌّ مُبِينٌ. He said, look man, right now, yes, our people are oppressed, but what you're doing is wrong. So because this gentleman, this guy, keeps getting into fights from Banu Israel, he is a problematic person. He is a tricky person. He doesn't have the best intentions. So he says, okay, you're saying I'm misguided, let me take you down with me. So he says loudly in the city center, Musa, you just want to kill me like you killed someone yesterday. All you want to be is an unjust tyrant. And you don't want to be someone who is fixing things and making things better. Now everybody in the city knows Musa killed someone yesterday. Great PR for Musa, right? Everybody knows now. So now the news reaches the palace. An Israeli from the palace, the prince, the adopted son of the Pharaoh, he killed one of us. No, we have to make an example out of him. We have to make his posters on the wall and make sure everybody knows you can't get away with this. Let us make him an example. So the news reaches back to Musa. Somebody comes from the other side of the city, from the palace. Musa, the plan is to get rid of you. Fakhruj, get out of here. I'm here sincerely to help you. فَخَرَجَ مِنْهَا خَائِفًا يَتَرَقَّبُ. Musa alayhi salam leaves the city of Egypt. He doesn't know where he's going, but he just has one thing in mind. قَالَ رَبِّ نَجِّنِي مِنَ الْقَوْمِ الظَّالِمِينَ. Oh Allah, only you can help me from the people who are oppressors. Musa alayhi salam at that moment is a criminal. He's a fugitive. He's on the blacklist. But not everybody on the blacklist is always doing something wrong. It depends who's in power. It depends what their rules are. It depends how they see right and wrong. At that time they say Musa is criminal number one. We have to get him. Musa alayhi salam escapes. He doesn't know where he's going. One thing you notice about Musa alayhi salam, at every stage in his life he's talking to Allah. When he makes a mistake, Rabbi inni zalamtu nafsi. When he's ready to leave, Asa an yahdiyani sawa as-sabil. When he reaches Madian, Rabbi inni lima anzalta ilayya. This man, he's got the whole world on his back. The burden that he carries, the difficulties that he has, is unbearable, unimaginable. A tyrant king who wants to slaughter him, a people who are oppressed. It's a big job. The only thing that gets him through this, every moment, he is in a constant conversation with Allah. This is why it is said by our scholars that Allah is anisu kulli mustawhish. Allah is the close companion of everyone who is lonely. Allah is the supporter when you have nobody. Allah is the helper when you have no help, when you have been abandoned. And to really understand this, to measure this, you have to ask yourself, and I have to ask myself, how often are we speaking to Allah? Frequently, it is only in times of difficulty we turn to Allah. Something goes wrong, the boiler breaks, we lose our jobs. Then we turn to Allah like it's nobody's business. And this is good, this is natural, this is what Allah wants, this is why He sent the calamity in the first place. But the beauty and the key and the blessing is the one who is able to consistently speak to Allah in good and in bad times. Musa alayhi salam learns from this incident. Just because he's a prophet, just because Allah promised his mother something, doesn't mean he's going to have the easy path. The path to freedom takes sometimes 100 years, 150 years, 80 years. But he has to be patient. He's going now in a direction he has no clue where he's going. Uncertainty. Just as his mother threw him into the sea, uncertain where is he going to go, he now walks into the desert, no clue where is he going. He's only certain of one thing. Allah will show me the way. Allah will never leave me. This idea, this iman, this surety and certainty that no matter what the situation, how bad the bombings, wherever we are lost and displaced and dispossessed, our homes, our food, our families, if we are with Allah, then we have succeeded. True success is not material success. Having a big house and a nice car, these are blessings, no doubt. But the true success is that no matter what happens, that rope between me and Allah does not get sliced. This is what Musa alayhi salam is teaching us. And we learn another important thing. It is often one who is being wronged, one who is being oppressed, they retaliate, they take revenge in a way that's not appropriate. Every type of, in Islam, everything has rules. War has rules, retaliation has rules. There's a court, there's a system, because we should never overstep the limit. We have to always keep this in mind, whether it's in our family, at work, in arguments, with friends, or whether it's when we look at these situations in the world. We must not overstep the line and advocate the oppression of others. But we should always ask Allah to remove the oppression that we are faced. And this is the second part of the story of Musa alayhi salam. وصلى اللهم وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.